Next is food cravings. Talking about one shade of brown, food cravings, how to quiet these food cravings. Now, some of you here, I see it in the chat, you're typing, why are you talking about this now? It's lunchtime. I'm eating. Yes, that's why we're talking about this, because this is lunchtime and I am going to be your unofficial partner to keep you focused. All right. So, how do you quiet those cravings that you're having? Maybe you're looking at dessert. Maybe you're not. Maybe you want some sugary drink. Maybe you don't. But how to quiet those? Let's go over this article really quickly, and then you can read this article a little bit later. Identify your triggers first. No, most people that I talk to know their triggers. They may not want to recognize them as a trigger, but know your triggers. That's the first thing, to identify what is causing you to want that. What is causing this craving? You know, you hanging out with one of your friends, you hanging out with one of your siblings, and they want it. Now you want it. Is your trigger people? Is your trigger pictures? Is your trigger smells? At least identifying that trigger. And then practice mindful eating. You may not want to necessarily completely stay away from whatever it is that you want to eat that day, but you may want to practice mindful eating. Know that you're eating it so you can eat less of it. And then choose nutrient dense foods, things like fiber, adding fiber to your meals. A good example would be in the morning. Some people eat things like sausage, egg, and cheese. I see that all the time. That has very, very little fiber, if any at all, especially because the bread contains probably more sugar and hardly any fiber. Now, if you add fiber to your meal, then it becomes more dense. It moves through your gut a little bit slower, and you stay full longer, and that craving doesn't creep up on you and call your name all the time. And then practice self-compassion. Food is not good or bad. That's human. Humans are good or bad. Food is not. So make sure you know, if you decide to eat whatever it is, it's okay. Just be better than yesterday. Eat a little bit of it. Don't eat the whole thing, and just be better than yesterday. And you look up in a year and you're exponentially better than the first day of that year. And then if you cannot deal with your food cravings by yourself, seek support. Go ahead and reach out to your primary care doctor or your practitioner. Seek some support. There's medications that can help out, which ironically, we'll talk about those in a little bit later, meaning now. Let's talk about those now. Injectable weight loss options. All right. So you've heard of Ozempic, but here are others listed. All right. As you can tell, they all have kind of the same ending in name, this glutide or tide. They're in the same class of medicines. So basically, some of them are approved by your insurance, and some of them aren't. We will see more later, and there will be better ones later than this. But these are pretty outstanding, and I'll explain to you why. Sometimes you may need these to jumpstart. We're talking about the first 6 months. This is not a long-term option. No weight loss supplement or medication or most medicines are long-term options. They're really meant for temporary lifestyle changes, so you can change your lifestyle. So these medications, they work by suppressing your appetite, increase feelings of fullness, and then improving your insulin sensitivity. You have insulin in your body already. It just makes your insulin more sensitive to be able to regulate your sugar. All right. And then there's another point. Most of these require a BMI of 30 or higher to be prescribed. However, there is a caveat to that. With a BMI of 27, okay, or higher, and if you have at least one rate-related condition, so like high blood pressure, prediabetes, diabetes, high cholesterol, um, then these can be approved by your insurance. Now, they're out everywhere. Not everywhere, literally, but CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, all the big stores, they really don't have them, just because there's so many people that want those medications right now. So I suggest, and this is one of those membership benefits, if you get prescribed these medicines, check the smaller pharmacies. Check your smaller grocery store chains, something like a Tum Thum or Randall's, depending on where you are all in the country. Check Costco, check Sam's. These are small techniques that you can use to maybe fill these medications. And that's because look at this. This is a study. This is on PubMed, which is a website that's used a lot by professionals. And I'll actually show you. Let's show you the actual article. once weekly injection of Ozempic. I'll stay away from the actual name semaglutide, but I'll say Ozempic, okay, and Wegovy because that's how you know it. But know that these medicines are kind of in the same class. Now let's go back to this chart. They did this. They did this study over time, 68 weeks. Look down here, 68 weeks. This is each week. This is how much weight they lost. So 2 pounds, 4 pounds, 6 pounds. This is someone placebo, meaning they didn't have anything in their injection pen. So they lost at 68 weeks, they lost about 3 pounds. But take a look here. This is with the injectables. Look at this weight loss. At 20 weeks, 9 pounds. At 60 weeks, which is basically the pinnacle, 16 pounds, and doing the exact same. So that's why these medications, in my opinion, will be prescribed more like, say, your statin medications. So something like Lipitor, simvastatin. You've probably heard of those medicines if you have high cholesterol. These medicines, in my opinion, will be prescribed like that. It's just we have a supply and demand problem. You have way too much demand and not enough supply. So there will be other medicines that will come on market and will relieve some of this supply stress. So let's take a little small peek at how these medications look. So this is from the Wegovy website. As you can see, for all this important safety information, possible thyroid tumors and cancer. So if you have thyroid disease, this is definitely something that you need to ask your doctor. Is this safe for me to take? All right, but they look like this. There's a hidden pin or a hidden needle right here. There's an injectable part right here. This is the actual dosage. You click on the back. This basically changes colors until the medication is injected, and then you release it. Okay, and then this is how you take it. Look at this. A lot of people don't know this. The first month is actually 0.25 milligrams. The second month is 0.5. Third month is 1, and then 1.7, and then 2.4. So as you see, you're actually stepping up in dosage because your body is actually getting used to the medication. So it's adjusting. Body's very good at adjusting to things. And so just know that these are the ones that are out everywhere. These, I call CVS, I call Walgreens. They have them. They have the 0.7, they have the 2.4, but people aren't there yet. You can't start out with these. So that's just a tip. And then let's go to the side effects. This is another one, Zepbound. Zepbound's another common one, but let's go to the side effects for a particular reason. I talked to a lot of people about what they saw online. They come in, they're worried about, hey, I saw the side effects online, I'm scared. This is how you look at side effects. All right, look at the mild side effects. Those are the ones that you should look at the most, because these are these are going to be the most common, especially like nausea and vomiting. And we're talking about injectables, and then also injection site irritation. So those are going to be your most common reactions. Now, you scroll down to the serious reactions. This is where people start to get scared and like, I don't want to take this medicine. It can cause death. Yeah, almost. I mean, anything can cause death. That's a medication, right? I mean, if you take too much of it, you take it wrong. Gallbladder problems, thyroid cancer, suicidal thoughts. These are going to be a lot less common. And we've all heard of these one-off crazy side effect stories from people. But remember, those side effects got into the news because they're so different, right? They're not common. So don't get so scared about that. Talk to your healthcare provider. Let them determine what you're safe taking and what you're not safe taking, and then pay attention to your body. This is when you start to learn about your body. If you've gotten to the point where weight loss medications are the thing, that's okay. But now your lifestyle change involves the first step of being mindful. Listen to your body. So that's the current overview of the weight loss medicines. We will continue on this topic. I'll have a specialist to come in and we'll interview them about these medicines, and so we'll get more information on it. And then now let's talk a little bit about question answer. I did get a question about Wegovy. Is Wegovy only for weight loss? That was the question that came into the chat. And there's a couple more that I don't think we'll be able to deal with, but let's talk about that one. So Wegovy recently, by the FDA approved Wegovy to reduce cardiovascular events in people with cardiovascular risk. So that's another way to get one of your best side effects, which is weight loss, one of these medicines, if you're taking it for reducing cardiovascular event, your side effect is weight loss, and it could be good weight loss. Now, if you're needing Wegovy for cardiovascular events, you will still need to do the proper steps and changing your lifestyle, being more mindful. So all those things remain the same. But that's another way that you can get the medication. But remember, check the smaller stores if you're having problems filling the medication at the bigger stores. But that's it for today. Thank you for joining me again. I'm Dr. J.